You pick up an apple. You bite into it. You don't wonder if it will kill you. That confidence, that complete unthinking certainty is one of the most extraordinary things about being human, but your ancestors didn't have it. They had nothing, no labels, no warnings, no one who had already figured it out. Every single thing around them was a mystery, a leaf, a berry, a fish pulled from a river. Any one of them could end a life before the next sunrise. And yet, somehow, they survived, and the knowledge they built over thousands of years through pain and death and desperate discovery is the only reason you are alive right now. The real answer to how humans learned what to eat is far darker and far stranger than you ever imagined. Go back 300,000 years. Homo sapiens has just appeared on Earth. The world is wild, untamed, and almost everything in it is trying to kill you. Not always with claws, not always with speed, but with something far more silent: chemistry. Because nature discovered something very early: poison is a perfect weapon. Plants can't run, animals can't always fight, so evolution invented invisible chemical warfare instead. Thousands of species on this planet produce compounds so deadly that a few milligrams can stop a human heart cold. And your ancestors had no idea which ones. Take a tree, just a tree, standing quietly in a Caribbean forest. Its fruit is small, round, and green, and it smells sweet. The Spanish had a name for it: Manzanilla de la Muerte, the little apple of death. The manchineel tree is considered the most dangerous tree on Earth. The sap raises chemical burns on your skin within minutes of contact. Standing beneath it in the rain gives you burns because the toxin dissolves into the rainwater, dripping off the leaves. Even burning the wood releases smoke that can permanently blind you. And the fruit? One bite. That is all it takes. An early human, hungry and tired, drawn in by the smell, would have had no warning, just the first taste, then a burning sensation spreading through the mouth, then everything that came after. This is how the first lessons were learned. Not from books, from watching someone suffer, from standing close enough to remember, from carrying that memory back to the group and repeating it until every child knew: never touch that tree. Now move to the coast. The ocean stretches out, full of creatures your ancestors had never seen before. Slow, round, almost comical looking, it puffs itself up when threatened. The pufferfish. Inside its organs lives one of the most potent neurotoxins ever discovered: tetrodotoxin. It is 1,200 times more poisonous than cyanide. There is no antidote. It paralyzes your muscles, including the ones you use to breathe, while leaving your mind completely clear. You remain conscious. You feel everything. You simply cannot move, cannot breathe. Imagine an early human who caught one. It looked like food. Getting to a safe way of eating it required deaths. It required survivors. It required memory passed carefully from generation to generation, like a warning whispered across centuries. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham of Harvard argues that cooking itself was partly driven by exactly this problem. Fire didn't just make food taste better, it destroyed toxins. It transformed the dangerous world into something survivable. But some things couldn't be saved by fire. Some things were designed to deceive at every level. The death cap mushroom, Amanita phalloides, responsible for 90% of all fatal mushroom poisonings worldwide. And the most terrifying thing about it? It tastes pleasant. No bitter warning, no burning on the tongue, no immediate signal at all. You eat it, hours pass, you feel fine. You go to sleep thinking it was nothing. Then, somewhere between 6 and 12 hours later, a toxin called amatoxin begins destroying your liver, silently, methodically. By the time your body sends pain signals, the damage is often already irreversible. Roman Emperor Claudius is believed to have been killed by one. Pope Clement VII. Entire families wiped out in a single meal by people who had foraged mushrooms for years and simply confused this one for something harmless. For your ancestors in the forest, this was the nightmare scenario. Without immediate feedback, how do you connect the mushroom eaten yesterday to the death happening today? The answer is slowly, painfully, across generations long enough that individuals became threads in a larger pattern no single person could ever see alone. Researcher Paul Breslin at the Monell Chemical Senses Center found that bitter taste evolved precisely as a poison detection system. Your tongue is not just a flavor organ, it is an ancient biological alarm. The moment something intensely bitter touches your palate, your brain fires a warning. Stop, spit, do not swallow. You still have this right now. That reflex was written into your biology by ancestors who learned repeatedly, lethally, what bitter usually signals in the wild. But taste alone was never enough, because some poisons don't taste bitter, some smell fine, some taste sweet. So humans built something more powerful than any sense they were born with: story. Before writing, before complex language, humans gathered by fire and told stories. A child listened to an elder describe a tree whose rain burned the skin off your arm. They listened to how a round, spiny fish stole someone's breath before they could call for help. They didn't need to experience the danger themselves. They inherited the memory of it through story. This is what anthropologists call cultural transmission, the passing of survival knowledge from one generation to the next through shared memory, language, and ritual. It is the reason your brain can fear something it has never personally encountered, because someone else encountered it for you and made sure you would know. You still carry all of this, every piece of it. When you wrinkle your nose at something that smells slightly off, that is your ancestors speaking through you. When a child spits out something intensely bitter without being told to, that is evolution protecting them the exact same way it protected every generation before. The entire history of global food, every cuisine, every preparation method, every fermentation tradition is a monument built from human survival, constructed one death at a time, one discovery at a time, one careful story told by firelight. You pick up an apple, you bite into it, you don't wonder if it will kill you. And that single, thoughtless moment of trust, that tiny act of confidence you didn't even notice, is the living proof of every human who ever lived, learned something terrifying, and made sure the world would know.